She thought she was carrying the child of someone who loved her, someone who promised her a future beyond secrets and shadows, but what she didn't know was that the man she trusted was plotting to erase everything, quietly, permanently, and without her consent. This is the disturbing true story of how a man, terrified of exposure, allegedly drugged his pregnant mistress with abortion pills, leading to a horrifying betrayal that would shock the nation, ignite outrage, and raise urgent questions about reproductive rights, power, and justice. You won't believe how close she came to dying. So stay with us, subscribe now, and watch till the end as we uncover every chilling twist in this jaw-dropping case. It all began in a quiet suburb just outside Tampa, Florida, where 30-year-old restaurant manager Kira Bennett had been living a complicated double life. Not one of deception, but one of quiet hope. She was the mistress of a well-known real estate developer, 43-year-old Michael Radford, a married man with 2 kids, a wife he claimed he no longer loved, and a promise he swore he'd keep, that once things were settled at home, he'd leave and start fresh with her. Kira didn't ask for love, she got it anyway. She didn't ask for lies, she received those too. When she found out she was pregnant, she was terrified, but strangely excited. Michael, she thought, would be too. At first, he was quiet, distant. Then came the panic. He told her it wasn't the right time, begged her to reconsider, said the stress would destroy everything. But she had made up her mind. She wanted to keep the baby. What Kira didn't know was that Michael wasn't just angry, he was desperate. He'd spent years building his image as a family man and a philanthropist, and a mistress carrying his child was a scandal he couldn't afford. And so, according to prosecutors, he began to plan. It started with small manipulations, pleas to reconsider, offers to go away together, and think things through. But when those failed, the charm turned to subtle threats. Then one day, everything changed. Michael invited her to dinner at their usual spot, a quiet little Mediterranean restaurant. He seemed calm. He ordered her favorite dish, brought her a special smoothie, told her it would help with the morning sickness. Minutes after drinking it, she began to feel dizzy, nauseated, a cramping pain twisting inside her abdomen. She excused herself to the restroom, and what happened next would haunt her forever. Blood. Everywhere. Her scream brought the waitstaff running, but Michael was already gone. And the worst part? She was 11 weeks pregnant. Doctors at the ER were baffled until a toxicology report revealed the presence of misoprostol, a powerful abortion-inducing drug, secretly slipped into her drink. The dosage was enough to terminate the pregnancy and risk serious harm to her health. Shocked and heartbroken, Kira told authorities everything. She remembered the smoothie. She remembered the look in his eyes. And when detectives confronted Michael, he denied everything. But text messages told a different story. In one message, Michael had written, "You don't understand. This can't happen. I'll fix it." Another read, "Just trust me, take the drink." Police obtained surveillance footage from the restaurant showing Michael handing the smoothie to Kira, glancing around nervously. Lab tests on the discarded cup confirmed traces of misoprostol. He was arrested within 48 hours. The charges? Attempted manslaughter, illegal administration of a drug, and tampering with evidence. But this wasn't just about the law. It was about control, about how one person's fear and selfishness led to the destruction of another's body and trust. And viewers, if you're still with us, this is where it gets even more chilling. During the investigation, it was discovered that this wasn't the first time Michael had tried to manipulate a pregnancy out of existence. Another woman came forward, his former assistant, claiming that years earlier, she too had gotten pregnant, only for Michael to pressure her into a termination. She said he had once tried to give her vitamins that made her violently sick. Her story never went public, until now. These women didn't just share a man, they shared trauma, secrets, and a fear of being erased. At his arraignment, Michael stood stone-faced as prosecutors laid out their case. Kira was in the courtroom, her hands trembling. She stared at him not with hate, but with something more unsettling, confusion. How could someone who claimed to love her do something so monstrous? Subscribe now, because what happened next left the courtroom in stunned silence. Michael's defense team argued that the miscarriage was coincidental, that Kira had been under stress, that the drug test could have been contaminated. But when presented with the damning texts, the surveillance footage, and the cup containing the drug, even the judge looked visibly disturbed. The prosecution called it an act of intimate terrorism, a phrase that echoed through the media like a scream in a canyon. Kira later spoke publicly, her voice cracking. She said, "I didn't lose just a baby. I lost trust, I lost my innocence, I lost my ability to feel safe." And just when you think this story can't get darker, Michael's wife filed for divorce, revealing that she too had long suspected something wasn't right. In her statement, she admitted she'd seen him Google abortion pills months earlier and assumed it was for a real estate client in trouble. She now believes he'd been planning this for much longer than anyone realized. The trial lasted 14 days. The courtroom was packed with reporters, advocates, and survivors of reproductive abuse. Kira testified for 4 hours, describing not just the horror of that night, but the betrayal that shattered her identity. She described the sound of her own heartbeat on the monitor, then the sudden silence when doctors couldn't find the fetal pulse. And when the verdict came in, guilty on all counts, she wept, not with joy but with relief. The judge called Michael a danger to women and a disgrace to his family, sentencing him to 27 years in prison. But Kira says no amount of prison time can undo what's been done. She now works with survivors of coercive reproductive abuse, raising awareness about how control can masquerade as love, and how silence can be fatal. Viewers, if you've made it this far, thank you, because stories like this need to be told. Behind every headline is a real person, a broken heart, a buried scream. If you or someone you know has experienced reproductive coercion, speak up, reach out, and know you are not alone. Subscribe to our channel for more real-life stories that expose the darkest truths and celebrate the strength of those who survive them. And remember, what's done in secret always comes to light. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe, and never let anyone control your body or your future.